Good morning, gold traders around the world. Good evening, greeting from down under Australia. This is Wilhelmina Ford greeting you a pleasant good morning whenever you are. As you know, that gold price today, January 13, is pushing and pushing and pushing higher and higher. Now, the price of gold yesterday, before I close, because we have a time difference, that was 59,700. Today, it is morning in your end, whether you're in Europe or you are in Africa or you are in Germany or you are in Dubai, the price of gold, it fluctuates. But there is a prediction that the gold will push to 1,900 to 3,000 per ounce. 1,900 per ounce. Today, we are now already 1907.51 per ounce. In dollar terms, is 61,338.11. Now, there is a possibility that the gold will turn to 2,000 per ounce. Middle of the year, 3,000 per ounce. Now, how are you able to secure? It is about time to secure now while the price is still affordable. A minute that the gold reached 3,000 per ounce, equivalent to 990 plus. Hang on, I'm gonna go to my calculator. 3,000 per ounce, 3 times 32.15 could be 96,450. Now, today, the price, as I've said a few seconds ago, the price is 61,338.11. This is the world market demand. Now, gold has many uses. I always explain it on every video. The gold coming from Africa. Africa is the main source of precious mineral. Africa, the main source of gold and diamond whatever part of Africa. Now, West Africa is the main source, like Mali, the tons of gold, Conakry, tons of gold, Sierra Leone, tons of gold, and also diamond. So my seller have gold and diamond. Now you're gonna say, who is Wilhelmina? That is a very good question. Who am I? My name is Wilhelmina Ford here. I'm the one who introduced this on the global domain. Why? Because Africa has been tarnished by you guys thinking you can get cheap price, thinking you can travel to Africa getting no payment, thinking that you can get cost insurance and freight. It is impossible. Those sellers offer you to pay taxes. Refrain of believing them because you would not get the gold. The gold cannot leave the country of origin unless the seller provide the buyer commercial invoice that you have paid the gold. The seller has to provide us a report so that you will know the purity and the carats of the gold. The seller has to give you attestation. The seller has to provide you certificate of clearance. The seller has to provide you custom clearance. The seller has to provide you ownership. Without that, you wouldn't able to get the gold. I can guarantee you 100%. Why? I've been to Africa. I know there's so many joker buyer thinking they can get the gold, C.I.F, cost insurance and freight only. Ladies and gentlemen, to all joker broker or fake gold trader, when you purchase this precious metal, you need to taste the precious metal. Then you have to find out the result of the assay. The gold in Africa is always 22 plus, which is equivalent to 23. The purity is from 95, 96, 97. It varies from bar to bar. Did anyone explain to you? No, even the seller wouldn't explain to you. The reason why the seller hired Wilhelmina to handle to market. I am a marketer. I am your business facilitator, and I am the seller's marketing consultant and mandate. the seller hired Wilhelmina to handle sales and marketing. Because of my experience buying and selling exactly the same, you have to inspect before you pay. Now you're gonna say, Wilhelmina send me the procedure. Most of the joker broker come to Wilhelmina, ask me the procedure, even the small trader, send me the procedure. Please pay attention on this video, because if you are a businessman, you should know how to digest it. You should know what you are buying. You should know why you want to buy gold. You should know the gold in Africa is not for credit. You should know that gold in Africa, buying gold and diamond, is always cash business. I just been to Africa November. I just come back from my trip. I always travel to Africa to accompany the buyer in order for the buyer to be assisted. Because if you travel unprepared and you are not well planned, I can guarantee you, you will be duped, or I can guarantee you, you're gonna be scammed. The meaning of scam means you're gonna be deceived. Either you are deceiving yourself or the seller is deceiving himself as well. Both buyers and seller deceiving each other. Now, Wilhelmina is correcting the bad business protocol of buyers and seller, because sellers have no idea that the government is charging the seller, right? And the sellers and the government says, okay, you are going to export, there is always government sales tax. Now, here in Australia, when I purchase anything, there is a government sales tax 10%. In your country, when you buy anything, there is always a government sales tax. In Dubai, I bought this necklace recently. Government sales tax on finished product is 5%. That is taxable. This is taxable. I purchased 2 or 3 jewelry. I give it to one of my friend, the necklace, as a gesture of goodwill, because she's very kind and very nice to Mrs. Ford. And I purchased 1 necklace to my husband, and this is my personal use. I'm just giving you an example. I bought this in gold sock. Now in gold sock, there's also fake gold. There's also 12 carats. This is 18 carats. And I purchased other jewelry for my husband, 22 carats, and really very heavy. 22 carats, the price of 22 carats in US dollar is 2,000 plus. Now this one is 1,000 plus. So I converted in Australian dollar is higher, because the US dollar is higher conversion to Australian dollar. So Mr. Buyer, this is now a finished product. This is, can you see the difference? This is 12 carats necklace, right? And this is 18 carats. So can you see the difference, Mr. Gold Trader? You are buying gold to make into different uses. Either you're gonna refine it to make into 99.99, or either you refine it to make into jewelry, or you can refine it to make into full set, or you can refine it to make into spare parts. Now you are buying gold to resell it to your own end customer, your end valued customer. You are buying wholesale to us. So even to the price of gold 61,324, we give you LBMA discount. Now if you're gonna deal with the fake offer in Africa, there's offer 35, there's offer 40, there's offer 42. That is not the real price. That is not. When you are on the ground, the government will tax that gold. Every bar, the tax is 3,500, sometimes 4,000. The government will tax whatever the world market price. Let's say the government, let's say you buy gold to Mali, which is my seller. Whatever the price of gold, less 5% to 8%, the tax is 7%. So Mr. Buyer, you don't need to be panic. As you can see the price of gold, I can see it on my screen. 61,322.36. On the world market, our selling price LBMA. I can give you 8% instead of 5%. I always ask my seller, let's give the buyer 8%. So when you resell it, Mr. Buyer, to your end customer, whatever the price of the day, you sell it 2%. You have still 6%. Now, you're going to say, well, Amina, how can you help me? Well, I'm here. I'm here to assist you, but Wilhelmina's services is not for free. When I travel with you, Mr. Buyer, whoever you are, Mr. Gold Trader, I do charge my services. Instead of getting 8%, because I'm going to charge you my services, I will give you back 4%. So, instead of getting 8%, okay, just a moment, I give you 4% back to you. So, you have I'll give you 8%, okay? Extra 4% or 3%, 12% on the world market. Now, you're gonna say, how, Wilhelmina? Whatever the price of the day, let's say the price is 61,337.79 less 12%. Okay, your profit every bar is 7,360 minus $61,000, 337.79. Our selling price is 53,977.25. So I'm charging you my services to accompany you in order to supervise you to the head office, right? I do charge my travel cost of $20,000 to cover my airfare from Australia to Africa. The hotel accommodation is getting higher and higher. So whatever the price of the commodity, every commodity goes up. The airfare is not cheap. The hotel is no longer cheap. So I do charge $20,000 to cover to accompany you so that you will not be duped, because the African seller is very hard to deal with. The African seller will obey Mrs. Ford because before you're gonna travel with me, I scrutinize you already and I gather your business registration, a copy of your business registration, a copy of your importation license, a copy of your passport, and the proof of fund, the value of your order. Right. So, today, which is Friday, January 11, if you make a booking to confirm, I can give you 53,977 per kilo. Okay, I'm gonna get 57, okay, 53,977. Okay, times, to start with, I want you to start a trial times 10 kilos. That is, hang on, 53,977 times 10 kilos. That is $513,977,000 on 10 kilos. You're gonna say, well, Amina, too expensive. Well, you're in business. You are getting 12% from Wilhelmina because I'm throwing back the 4% back to you. So when you resell it to your refinery or jewelry manufacturer, they can buy 2% out of you. So you have still profit. And don't be greedy, Mr. Buyer. The more you become greedy, the more you become stumble. Because there's no way you can get cheap price. There's no way. When the gold is high, the seller is in control. He would not sell you cheap price. He wouldn't. Because he believed that the gold is money. He believed that the world is crying for gold. Gold is world asset you're buying, you must remember. So the seller is holding the gold. He doesn't care about you. Your paper money has no value. Yes, I know there's so many offer. You're looking for cheap price. I tell you, I think I mentioned that on my previous video. I meet a lot of buyers in Dubai. They are just pretending to be a buyer. They come to see me. They're sucking information from me. I don't mind. And they ask a lot of questions. I've given them answer. Then they go behind my back. It's okay if you go behind my back because you're looking for cheap price. What happened? One Indian from Dubai, he flew to Ghana. He lost money. He lost $350,000. Yeah, he was over $35,000. Then he come back to Wilhelmina. Said, Wilhelmina, I should listen to you. And I told him, well, because you are selfish and greedy. He lost $300,000. Another guy from New York, he was just asking question. I've given him the answer. He flew to Sierra Leone, and he was stuck for I think 3 months. And he said out of 20 seller that he was talking to uh, to verify the price and the carats of gold on the ground in Sierra Leone, he said that most of the sellers are scammer. And I told him, no, you are one of the scammer. Why? You are deceiving yourself. And the seller is also deceiving you to trap you. That's what I told. So I decided to introduce him to my head office. And I told him, show me that you're really a buyer. He showed me his business license. And he's trying to deceive himself. When he met my seller and he said, you know, Mrs. Ford, your seller is real. He didn't get the gold because his price is not acceptable to my seller. Another gentleman from UK, his parents from Sierra Leone, and he's a broker. He was talking to me. He said, Madam, I'm learning. So he learned from Wilhelmina, and I told him, just listen to the video. You might pick up the gold knowledge. He went to Sierra Leone. He was offered $52,000. That was last year. He didn't get the gold because he is a broker. He's trying to get business. Okay, that's fine. Another Indian. He flew to Sierra Leone I think November, December, and he couldn't get the gold. He was stuck in Sierra Leone, and he called me, Madam, is it true that the price of gold, that was last year, I was offered $53,000? And I said, yes, it's true. And he returned to India empty-handed. And his partner is stuck in Conakry, and he was begging to get the gold from my head office. I turned it down. Mr. Gold Trader, we don't deal ghost buyer. If you watch my video and you go on my platform on Facebook, I want you to comprehend. I want you to listen to this video because you're gonna gain knowledge, right? My seller would not explain to you like this, none whatsoever. I am helping both buyers and sellers, but my services is not for free. I've given you guys my information worth $1 million, according to Philip from Germany. He was watching my video, and he said, well, Amina, you are the only person who show everything, and you are very transparent, and your seller is lucky to have you, because most of the seller in Africa have no time to explain. And Philip, he was teaching in university in Conakry. He understand the business. You know what Philip was saying? I agree with you, Mrs. Ford. That's why those joker broker is scared of you. Yes, most joker broker hates my guts. Some joker broker, they are hiding their faces. That kind of person, they are thieves. Why you gonna hide your face if you are in this industry? This is $1 million worth of business. Gold business is the real industry. But if you are just brokering, and then saying, scam, you are one of the scammer. You are one. I was even scam in Ghana. That's why I wouldn't touch in Ghana. There's so many fake offer. So many. Now, this morning, I have an Indonesian guy, and he has a license in Sierra Leone. He couldn't get the gold. He went to the village. He said, I can only get by grams, Mrs. Ford. Now he said, Mrs. Ford, I want to buy gold to sell it to my client in Dubai. And I told him, well, you would not get the gold from us unless you have to show me a copy of your business registration and a copy of your financial statement, your bank statement that you have $500,000. He couldn't provide me. He's just a broker joker. Now, Mr. Bayo, we are now 2023. Previous year, 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I give everyone an opportunity. Broker or small gold trader roaming around until they become scam, they come back to Wilhelmina. And I would like to thank the gentleman from Florida. His name is Ronald Price. Thank you very much for following my YouTube channel and my Facebook. And thank you for the compliment that Mrs. Ford, you are the best. I think I'm the best. Yes, 100% I'm the best. Because if you meet some joker, broker, or bandit, they don't show their faces. They are not. I'm the best because I tell everything. The price, the quantity, the carats, the purity, what necessary requirement you are going to get when Wilhelmina will take you to Africa. It's in front of you. Now, to all gold trader, do not come to Wilhelmina if you are not really reading the full corporate offer in front of you. It says on my YouTube channel, show more, subscribe and click. I want you to pay attention. I want you to register in the back of your head. Am I really going to be involved in gold business? Am I really certain? Right? And I've been searching gold for 1 year. Until now, I couldn't find. Now I found Wilhelmina. There was a gentleman from United Kingdom. He saw me on my YouTube channel. When I interviewed him, he didn't qualify. Mr. Gold Trader, you don't need to be scared with Wilhelmina. You need to be thankful that you meet this lady, but this lady is very strict, very brutal, and straightforward. And she doesn't buy bullshit, excuse my language. There is no if, there is no but. Why? You are buying $500,000 here. Wilhelmina is here with you. You are paying Wilhelmina's services in order to accompany you. Because if I would not be with you, I'm telling you, you are going to fail. 100%. And when you sign a contract, whatever on the contract, your agreement between the seller and the buyer, and Wilhelmina will countersign on the contract because I am the mandate of the seller. You are lucky to have me because I can bargain on your behalf. Instead of 8%, because I'm going to charge you my services, I'll giving you extra 4%. In total of 12%. Now, tax included. So you save more. Why? I'm the one asking my seller to absorb the tax. Alright? So your profit, you save the tax of 7%, right? Except you have to pay the logistic. Except you have to insure the gold. Right? So at the end of the day, you total that plus 12%, right? 12% plus 7%. If I'll take you to Mali, because Mali have tons of gold, 19%, you gain the tax of 7%. But if I am not around, the tax would not be absorbed. Only when you take Wilhelmina with you, I'm going to ask my seller to absorb the tax on the first shipment. On the second shipment, we will review because your order just only an initial of 10 kilos. And I'm very, very kind and generous to give you a leeway. Mhm. Without Wilhelmina, you have to pay the tax. This is my incentive to you, Mr. Baya. Do not expect that the seller will give you 19%. No, you have to pay the tax. I'm the one, was the one who asked my head office to grant me to waive the tax, the price tax inclusive. 53,977 tax included. Mhm. Except logistic, there is a cost, whatever the total sale value, 1.5%. You need to ensure the gold, the total sale value is 1.5%. You're gonna see, well, Amina, I'm here in Mali. I'm going to buy the gold and I'm going to assay at KMR. That is good. I'm going to assay the gold at Marina. Okay. Before you're gonna ask that you're gonna assay the gold to Marina and KMR, first of all, you have to convince Walamina. Because my seller would not deal KMR and Marina. In Mali, there are now 4 refinery. 3 private refinery. Unigold Refinery, KMR, Marina, and DNGM is the government. Before these 3 refinery came into this country, DNGM already exists. Because this DNGM is a government. Before they're gonna export the gold, they have to assay the gold, taste the gold to make sure that the gold is 22 plus, make sure the gold is 96, 97. Now you're gonna ask, well, Amina, I wanna buy gold 24 carats. Mr. Gold Trader, in Africa, you are buying Dore. Only the refinery can refine the gold, the Dore into 24 carats. Now, few years back, I live in Brisbane, and I went to the refinery here in Brisbane. This refinery, they are buying gold back and forth in Africa and Papua New Guinea. I was talking to the director, and they have a jewelry shop in Gold Coast. From Brisbane to Gold Coast, it takes a drive 45 minutes. And this director was telling me, well, Amina, even 92%, we can refine it into gold bullion. We can refine it into 99.99. So you, Mr. Gold Trader, you are a fool if you're asking me that silly question. Now, I've given you the answer already. Impossible you cannot comprehend. Impossible. I just explain it just like an elementary. My seller would not explain to you like this. None whatsoever. You're lucky to have Wilhelmina. Now, when I was in Africa 2019, 2018, 2020, and 22, I brought the buyer. The buyer was just a moment. I will call you back because I'm on conference. I'll call you back. I'll call you back because I'm on conference. I'll call you back. Okay. So, I have a long distance from overseas. So, the gold produced in Africa. So, Mr. Baya, don't bank on my explanation because I'm just giving you preempt. You need to convince Wilhelmina. Because if you're gonna window shop or broker to broker, they will charge you their commission. We are giving you a huge incentives on the first trial because I want you to build your credibility. I want you to build your trust. You need to convince Wilhelmina that you are a real buyer. Because I have the power to reject you and I have the power to negotiate on your behalf. Yes, you go to other seller, they will sell to you 5% or 8%. Just like this gentleman, they met me. They're all, excuse my language if I say this, they're all liars. They're all deceitful. They're deceiving themselves. They pretend that they are a buyer to meet Walamina. Yeah, but I observe their tactics, and I study the body language of the buyer. I study the conversation, and I use my business psychology. A minute the buyer say, you know, Wilhelmina, I'm going to buy gold, bring it to Dubai, no upfront fee. To me, he's not a buyer. Mhm. You are a smuggler. You teach the African seller to smuggle just because of your profit. We don't do that. To get the export license, it costs money. And my head office was telling me, well, Amina, those buyer asking C.I.F, they are launderer. We cannot afford to lose our license. There's so many seller in Africa offer you cheap price, go for it. God bless you. Good luck. Now the price of gold today now 61,268.99. It's already on my screen. A while ago 61,100. Now it's already 61,268.999. There is a possibility that the gold will turn to 62. So Mr. Buyer, don't wait. Don't wait for you for the price goes up. Don't roam around. Don't. You have a computer, right? You have an internet, is that right? You have a Wi-Fi, right? You have a mobile phone connected on the internet. You search gold on YouTube, you will see this lady. You go on Facebook, I'm the only person, I put everything, picture to picture, explanation to explanation. But to me, you are not reading. My procedure is really very extensive because I want you to understand that if you don't have the cash, you would not get this gold business. You will not get this diamond. Diamond is a girl's best friend. Diamond needs a Kimberly certificate that the diamond is free of blood diamond. The price of diamond, it varies from carats to carats. So do not ask me, well, Amina, send me the picture. No, you're not a buyer. You have to convince me because everything now is on my platform. My platform is just like an store, online store. This is my office. This is my home-based office. My portable office, I can be reached at any time. When I was in Dubai, there's so many buyers queuing. When I interviewed them, they are not a buyer. You know, when I was in Dubai 2022, before entering January 2023, I was in the jewelry manufacturer. The owner of the jewelry manufacturer, he said to me, what a lucky seller that that they have you, Mrs. Ford. Because I watch your platform. You are very thorough. Impossible. Buyer doesn't understand. And I told this the owner of the factory, no, they are not really a buyer, they are a window shopper. Let them shop online. They will come back. They will come back. And you know this gold? I disguise in gold soap. Where the gold coming from? In Africa. This is already finished product. Yeah, they refined it. I was in jewelry manufacturer. Yeah. And I asked my taxi driver to wait for me for 3 hours. I was talking to the owner. The owner was impressed with Wilhelmina. Yeah. And then you guys, you joker broker, you hate my guts. To me, you're not a buyer. You're not. You're a joker. That's why I call you joker. Yeah. I'm very brutal. I don't buy F. I don't buy BAT. I want the buyer to get the gold from us. Mr. Buyer, 2018, 2019, yes, I did charge the buyer to accompany them $10,000. Right. 2022, I did charge $15,000. Why? Because the price of the airline is increasing after the COVID. So there is no free in this world. Now today we are 2023. The price of gold is high. I increase my travel cost. Airfare is not cheap anymore. Hotel accommodation is no longer cheap. The accommodation and the food is not cheap. You're buying expensive item, Mr. Buyer. And if you cannot afford, at least you learn from Wilhelmina. I know you're window shopping. I know that. Everybody knows me. I was meeting with this guy from Europe. I don't want to mention their name. Every day they call me. Every day they ask question. And suddenly they go behind my back. It's okay. Mhm. I wish him good luck. Mhm. Last year, I'm supposed to give him a very good price. Mhm. And I told him bank now because there is a possibility. He was looking for cheap price. Mhm. And now, and I keep on giving him the update. He doesn't respond. He's a German guy. Mhm. Ah, good luck on him. And then I introduce him to my contact. 2023, I would not buy you guys. You are just sucking my information. At least you gain knowledge from me. At least nobody taught me. That is why the seller hired Wilhelmina, because I've been in marketing for 35 years, 36 years, buying and selling exactly the same. You have to pay. You're gonna say, there was a guy that, oh, my bank is scared to transfer money in Africa. Yes, because you're one of the launderer. When you travel to Africa, you need to have a contract with us first, and then you inform your bank manager that you are going to buy valued goods. Mhm. Your payment must be bank to bank through the correspondence bank. Everybody goes to New York because the correspondence bank will check whether your money is clean or not, whether your money is coming from dirty games. The money laundering is very strict. Yeah, one of my customer, when I took the buyer to Conakry, her her account was been blocked, but she did explain to her bank that she is and her partner, they were male and female, in Conakry. They're buying valued goods, and that the buyer of mine, they provide my seller because we provide the seller's vital information. The bank uplift the block. Even myself, I was been blocked before I traveled to Africa. Yes, and because I forgot to inform my bank, so I called my bank that I'm in Dubai. I cannot access my account because I don't carry money. I only use my debit card and Visa card. I called my bank that please remove the block because I cannot pay my hotel bills just like this. So now, Mr. Bayo, I explained to you before you travel, you inform your bank that you are going to travel to Sierra Leone, you are going to travel to Mali, you are going to travel to Conakry, so that your bank would not be suspicious. Why are you withdrawing money to transfer money in Africa? Did any seller explain to you like this? Nah, none whatsoever. Anyway, Mr. Baya, I'm going to summarize. Start now, buy now, talk to Wilhelmina, read the full corporate offer, listen to this video from the beginning to the end. Do not come to Wilhelmina if you are not satisfied. Because when you come to Wilhelmina, my question is, how did you find me on YouTube? What did you learn out of my YouTube? Did you really comprehend it properly? Did you really understand reading the full corporate offer? And you're gonna say, not really, go back and read again. Because when you come back, I want you to send me your business registration, a copy. I want you to send me your importation license. I want you to send me your passport copy. I want you to open your camera because I'm going to interview you again. And show me your bank statement that you have $500,000. Mhm. Then we will respond to you. Then I will advise my head office that I already validated this buyer. Let us proceed. Then, Mr. Buyer, you will receive the company profile of my seller. A company profile of my seller that have mining license, an export license. I will not release my seller's information to float around and cut and paste and sanitation. I'm the one who will interview you, just like when you apply for a job, just like when you submit your resume, your biodata. You submit your personal biodata by live video call on the record. Mhm. So then, I'm going to convince my seller, okay, I interviewed this buyer. I saw the buyer that have $500,000. Let us prepare the contract and send it to the buyer directly. Then we will attach the seller's vital information, the banking details. Don't be scared, Mr. Buyer, because your account would not be stolen. That is only for Wilhelmina's eyes only. So I'm going to ask my head office, okay, let us prepare the contract. The contract will be sent to Wilhelmina. I'm going to review it again. And then I will send it to you, Mr. Buyer, to sign it. Then we will send you the landing visa as the valued customer. Don't you know that the valued visa, the landing visa, worth $150? The seller will secure that and the seller will pay for it because you are already been validated by Wilhelmina. When you travel, you are all prepared. Does that make sense, Mr. Buyer? So now, I think I already explained. Time to time, I update the price of gold. Bank now, Mr. Buyer. Don't wait for cheap price because there's no way you can get cheap price. All right. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant good morning to you and good evening here from Brisbane. The time here is 7:40. Click below. Read the full corporate offer properly. Then you come back to Wilhelmina when you are ready. When you convince Wilhelmina that you are really a buyer. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant good evening from Brisbane.